Hello everybody and welcome back to Hearts of Iron, where things are going very well for us over in Europe. We have almost wiped out the American Union over here in Europe, and this is going to be a big power shift over here. This is a lot of divisions that are going to get wiped. We're very happy about that. There's a lot more divisions over here, and once we're done with that, we're going to be able to start focusing in over here. Now, there's this American division over here, but they're going to get wiped for sure. These guys should be just coming in and attacking, honestly. Just finish them off. We've got our African region over here that we're making some level of progress in. And then we've got our Asian region over here. Now, we're working on cleaning this up. I did order these 2 units to come deal with this Philippine division, because it turns out there's nobody assigned to this order. I must have accidentally assigned everyone to one of these others. That's okay. And we have our troops coming down to man this border. Now, our first goal is probably going to be to, like, shorten our line by having the line go, like, here somewhere. I think that's probably going to be what we do over here. But for now, we need to continue getting into position. As far as the war over here in South America goes, we're taking some hits, there's no doubt about it. They're pushing us back over here in some locations, but a lot of this has to do with the fact that we're using some pretty substandard troops over here, and that will change once we clean up the war in Europe. We're also working on the air war over here, and, I mean, they just keep throwing more planes at us. 4,000 from the US. It's not shocking, but I believe that we are now outproducing the US. Actually, we can check. If we go into here, into the Intel ledger, we can see they barely have any manpower. They have more than we do, to be sure, but they barely have any manpower. They have 101 military factories used in airplane production. Okay. We're definitely outproducing them. We have 150 plus another almost 50 here, and that's for our fighters alone. So our fighters alone have double the number of factories devoted to them. Now, we don't have a ton devoted to bombers, right? But that's fine. So we are outproducing the US, not necessarily all of the American Union combined, but we're outproducing the US, and that's what matters here. Which means that we can afford to take these losses. Our average air defense is lower than their air attack. Our average air attack is higher than their air defense. Okay, well, we are working on upgrading our planes as well, so that's fine. And once we clean up the war in Europe, we can free up a lot of these planes, actually. Like, for instance, the planes here, they're not going to be necessary. Hello, pause menu. They're not going to be necessary. We do have these rocket wings with no orders assigned. We may want to do something with those, but that seems to be okay. So let's tick forward here. We have driven a wedge between these 2 pockets. Well, in this pocket, and created 2 pockets. 3 pockets. This is great. All these guys, they're going to be gone in just a moment here. They are wiping fast. Very little that they can do here. We should see a capitulation or 2. I think. Yeah, they're just gone. There's nothing that they can do. Bosnia-Herzegovina has capitulated, giving us 15 convoys. Okay, that's cool, I guess. Oh boy. Well, we're just going to continue wiping these guys and then redirecting our troops back over here. Hello, that's another pocket that just developed here. And they're stack wiped. We are eliminating huge swaths of enemy forces right now. Just absolutely enormous. You can see this is a giant mess. That's okay. I'm comfortable with this. Okay, so what do we got going on here? This guy is on his way in, and that won't be a stack wipe because he's going to retreat up this way, but we should be able to catch him up there pretty quickly. These guys, I want them to come in. Wipe that. I want you to wipe this. There we go. Solved. And then there's this that actually linked up. That's fine, I guess. And then there's this that has not yet linked up. I want these guys to attack here. These guys support them. I mean, technically that's not supporting them, but wipe them out. All of them. Wonderful. We are getting huge swings in this war right now. Okay, I want you to come in here, you to come in here, you to come in here, and you to push all the way to here. Okay, that should clean up this pocket, in theory. Now, this has become part of the front. I'm okay with that. This is wiped. And then there's this guy. Now, these don't have much organization, but he has no organization. So, boom. He's now pushed back, and this guy is, I think, going to finish the job over here. We're on our way up over this way. That's fine. We do have some unassigned divisions over here. These guys should be placed into one of these armies, and we're going to place them over here for now. Excellent. Their European forces are, at this point, pretty doomed, I think. So that's great. The war in Europe, I'm going to go ahead and say this is pretty over. Now we are taking a few hits over here, but that's to be expected, and they will not last too long at this rate. Okay. So we've got a lot of this cleaned up. That's a stack wipe. Wonderful. You don't have to come up this way. Just this guy. And then this is a stack wipe. Wonderful. And we have somebody walking up over this way. Yeah, this guy here. He's almost there. And that's just great. How are we doing on our manpower recovery monthly now? The tooltip will pop up. 41.28k. That's improving, and it will continue to do so for quite some time. We're making huge gains right now. There's apparently a dangerous naval invasion in northern South America. I mean, sure. This has been a bit of a thing. Can you just come grab this? Thanks. It's undefended. Like, I'm okay with that. So at this point, you can see Europe is over. It's crumbling. That's great. Our plan worked flawlessly. I'm as surprised as anybody. I really, truly am. But it did. It worked wonderfully. So, I hadn't really considered what we do after the war in Europe is won. And the war in Europe is won. It's over. It's done. Yeah, we're stack wiping a lot of troops here right now. But there's only 2 locations left. Like, this is definitely a victory. The United States broke our cipher. Oh no! Anyway. We have air wings with no mission or region assigned. When this happens, I want to just get rid of them right now. Okay. That manpower can be sent elsewhere. The war in Europe is officially over. We control all of Europe, with the exception of a couple of neutral nations that we don't care about right now. And, I suppose, Sardinia and Corsica. Well, and this. We're kind of ignoring that for the time being. So this situation is cleaning up. That's great to see. This should be a couple of stack wipes in a moment. I do want to start sending these guys overseas. How is our naval situation looking? Moderate at best. I'm not surprised by this, but it is moderate at best. How are supply levels over here? I have a feeling that we'll have a hard time pushing up here with a full army group. So we may end up wanting to divide this army group a little bit. I do feel like this army group should return home. And then additional recruits we get over here will go into our European Coast Guard. That said, There is still this down here. Republican Italy and the Corsican Republic control those respectively. We could leave one army here, planning a naval invasion of this, like so. And a second army planning a naval invasion of this. And we can see how that goes. And then send these armies back to reinforce these areas. So essentially, this army would frontline here. This army would frontline here. Did that go correctly? Yes, it did. And then this army would frontline probably over here. It'll take them quite a long time to get there. There might be losses along the way. If so, that's okay. I think that's the overall plan for right now. An invasion of England is, I think, for now, off the table. Although we could theoretically pull it off. We could. It's an interesting question, and the one that we might tackle after we invade Sardinia and Corsica. We don't have any Marines, and that's a decision that was made. I'm not going to claim it was a great decision, but it was a decision that was made nonetheless. I'm just going through here, seeing what we need. It looks like what we need more than anything is infantry equipment. So we can toss a little bit more at infantry equipment, like that. Okay. Seems fine. And we'll just move around. And we're expecting to take some losses as we head overseas. Ooh. 3% war support. Speaking of, we haven't done a propaganda in a while. We're definitely out of the cooldown period. Definitely out of the cooldown period. So all we're going to do then is, this is weekly war support of, this is for 90 days. So we're assuming 12 weeks. So we get 12% war support for running this. So of course we're going to have to do this the cheaty way because we're bugged. And we're just going to subtract our 75 political power that would cost. And then we are going to just say war support 12. We're going to gain 12 war support. Didn't even crack 0%. I'm not shocked by that. So the normal cooldown on this is 90 days, right? So we're going to assume 3 months. So July, August, September, and then October, right? No, it would be September 12th. Would be 3 months. Because July to August, August to September. No, it would be October. October 12th. Okay, let me note that down. 12 October, if I can actually get it selected. There we go. 12 October, 1974. It had been over a year since we last ran a war propaganda. There we go. Okay, so we'll do that. We are not even close to breaking 0% war support. Actually, I want to know how close we are. I'm going to take this war support away, but I want to see, like, war support. What if we added, say, that would happen. That would happen. Okay, we'll bring that back. We're just adding 50 war support here, and then, okay, so we're at minus 40. So we'll do minus 50 to take that back. We're a long ways away from 0. I just wanted to know how far that would go. Okay. Sounds good. So we've just got the one location left over here. And these guys are attacking here. I want these guys to actually come in here. This should stack wipe these 2 units and give us plenty of time to get in position over here, in theory. We'll see how true that is. And we want some time to, like, dig in along this line, most likely. We're going to want a 5th army over here, and this army doesn't actually have orders assigned to it. We should definitely move this army into here and do something like that. They can make their way on over. Now, this army is also not assigned to anything. And I think that we should fill out these armies with this one. So we're going to take 4 units from here and put it into this army. We're going to take 6 units and put it into this army. We're going to take, let's see here, 3 units and put it into this army. 1 unit into this army. This is actually perfect. All of these guys go in. That's 24. We do need a commander here, and we should go ahead and recruit one since we have the political power to do so. And we'll put this guy in right here. Okay. Nice. That's a decent reorganization, I feel like. And how long do we have on these invasions? It's going to be 84 days in total. Okay. So those troops are going to get moving. And I want to have this unit help out here. There we go. The Alpine unit in the mountains will do wonders. Yeah, I mean, they produced an additional 5 units over here that we aren't really in a position to use, but we might want to invade some of these Netherlands territories over here at some point in the near-ish future. There's Australia over here. I mean, right now we're much more focused on Europe. On Asia. We're not focused on Europe anymore. That's going to be an adjustment. There's no doubt about that. Oh, wow. Okay. U.S. landed a big old naval invasion over here. Or did they? Did they get Peru to capitulate? By landing in the capital? Maybe. Okay, so these 14 units. Well, we're going to immediately take some of this back. We're going to do something like this. This is 6 units here. I'm going to have them come down here. And we want a pretty big attack here. So we're going to do something kind of like this. Okay. Peru must have capitulated? If so, I clicked right through it and didn't even notice. Okay. So we're going to wait for our reinforcements to arrive here. They also have reinforcements coming in. These guys are on their way down. So we'll have to keep an eye on this, for sure. We have reinforcements coming in, remember. They'll get here eventually. Japanese operative has been captured. Sure. Okay. So we're allowing these guys to recover their organization while our reinforcements come in. The U.S. seems very keen on invading Venezuela, don't they? Via Navy. To that end, I want to... see, we are patrolling these 3. I'm actually going to remove the South American coast from this. Just patrol these 2. Okay. Of course, they're nuking down over here. We knew that would probably be a thing. And let's see about making our way in. They're landing more troops over here. Which I must admit I am not necessarily a fan of. Are you... who's not moving here? You're moving. You're moving as well. Why don't you come up over here? And then you can come around something like this. Take back some of this territory. Okay. We clearly need to refocus our Coast Guard a bit. I think that's very, very obvious. We've got some light tanks going on over here. Okay. So these 14 units, I want them to frontline here. And then we're going to grab these eventually, but they're unguarded, so we want to make sure that we are doing something like this. This unit is going to make its way on back. It can come up over here, I suppose. Okay, we have some units. Oh, wow, look at all these. Insane. Okay, well, we're just continuing to fill out that Coast Guard for now. Okay, I do want to check all of our newly conquered territory over here and see if this is... I mean, we are interested in building anti-air in all of this, but this is a very low priority at this point now that the fighting is done over here. So we're not going to prioritize that at all. Kazakhstan is over there. Yes, that would be the case. This down over here. And yeah, that seems fine. Grab this as well. Is this our territory? Yes and no. Okay. Sounds good. So that's that, but I also wanted to check the infrastructure over here, specifically in locations that have things that we need. Like, for example, the steel here. And this should actually be a high priority. Anywhere that has steel, we want that infrastructure. And this is mostly going to be in regions that we just recently captured, because I went through this previously, but there are some of these down over here that I think that I didn't even look at. Eventually, we're going to want infrastructure in all of these locations, but for now, priorities. Okay, I think that's good for now. So we'll get that going. And how are we doing over here? I mean, we're working on it. We're not entirely there yet. But we're making some progress over here. We have cleaned up all of the backline stuff, and that does mean that one of these units, and it is not this one. Yeah, it's these guys over here, actually. These 16 should probably be repurposed, and their repurposement is actually going to be an area defense, and it's going to be all along this coast. Like that, for now. Okay. These guys are just kind of chilling over here and haven't done anything in a really long time, despite the fact that there's only 3 enemy units. Interesting. So, I mean, we need to take care of this, obviously. And that's something that we're working on. After you're done with that, you can do something like this. And you can go like that. I'm assuming these guys... Yeah, they're coming up there. Okay, that should be handled. Fantastic. Now, the goal of this force, of course, will be to offensive line to here. And they can go ahead and execute that, honestly. If they can get some of these guys out of here, then that's huge. They're spreading out, and that's to be expected. As far as this up here goes, I mean, we should be getting reinforcements over here fairly soon, right? They're still on their way pretty heavily. Yeah, they're embarking now and making their way over. We're expecting some losses as they come over, which is completely fine. Completely and totally fine. We have lost a unit over here. That's fine. We'll get that replaced eventually. And our overall goal is going to be to offensive line, as I said previously, somewhere around here. Maybe like on this side of the river. Like that would be the overall goal. What's that fill in? That's okay. Yeah, we don't want to execute this yet, but we'll begin planning for that. We do have an unassigned division over here, and that division is immediately going to be assigned here. Okay. So we'll do what we can to delay these guys. That's fine. Now, these are up over here still. How are we doing on our air war up here? Yeah, I'm not surprised the US just keeps throwing more and more over here. This is becoming more and more critical for them. So this is not shocking at all. We can free up some of these air wings, like for example, this one is probably no longer necessary. So we can do things like that. Internal areas like Czechoslovakia, this one's probably no longer necessary, and that would require... Let's see, this unit, are you assigned to anything? No, you are not. So let's just get rid of that. That's 500 and a decent chunk of manpower. And then there's also this unit here. So let's go ahead and get rid of that. Okay. So that frees up some manpower. And I mean, we're going to want to probably remove quite a number of those. But for right now, I'm not too concerned about it. We have these guys where? Okay, we have one unit over here, as has been the norm. And that will go in here. And this guy will absolutely be assigned here. No doubt about that one. And we're on our way in over here to encircle that. Sounds good. So the US is continuing to attempt to push in over here, and that's fine. It is, however, time to put a cut in here, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. And next episode, we are going to launch our invasions over here, hopefully. We'll see how that goes. And continue to work on this front and get our reinforcements in over here. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and I will see you all next time.